Good morning. Good morning to you from the Bullock County Historical Society. Today's Tidbit is brought to you by Georgia Humanities, who gave our society a wonderful grant to produce these tidbits of Georgia history. On the eve of the American Revolution, naturalist William Bartram explored the wilderness of Georgia. His journal describes an untamed, magnificent world, replete with tigers, angry Seminoles, verdant forest, and crystal clear streams that we can only marvel at today. William Bartram traveled 6,000 miles through southeastern North America from 1773 to 1776. He was a Philadelphia Quaker who was commissioned by Dr. John Fothergill of London to find and classify new species of plants and animals, to make drawings, keep a journal, and to collect seeds, roots, shells, and other samples. These were shipped to Fothergill when possible. For his troubles, Bartram received 50 pounds per year plus expenses. He traveled from Philadelphia to Savannah via schooner in early April 1773. Georgia was then, of course, a royal colony, and the governor was Sir James Wright. He welcomed Bartram and gave him letters of introduction to prominent Georgians. While in Savannah, he met several members of the Georgia Assembly, and they urged him to visit should he pass their way. He put these invitations to good use, frequently staying at the homes of prominent Georgians during his travels. His first journey from Savannah was on horseback, and he traveled to Sunbury, then Georgia's second largest seaport. Bartram describes Sunbury as beautifully situated on the main between the Midway, Medway, and Newport rivers, about 15 miles south of the Great Ogeechee River. The town and harbor are defended from the fury of the seas by the north and south points of St. Helena and St. Catherine's Island. The next day, he crossed the sandbar and visited Colonel's Island and made his first list of plants. This included the laurel tree, Magnolia, a pitch pine, our longleaf pine, liquid amber, our sweet gum, and Carpinus betula, ironwood. It was on Colonel's Island he reported the presence of Tigers, tigers, which were cougars, and wolves, neither of which are found in Georgia today, or are they? From Sunbury, Bartram traveled west to Midway, then south to Darien, where he lodges with Lachlan Mackintosh. Mackintosh would later gain fame as a Revolutionary War general and for mortally wounding Button Gwinnett, one of Georgia's signers of Declaration of Independence, in a duel. 8 years earlier, William and his father, John Bartram, identified a new species of bay tree with large, fragrant white blossoms while traveling near the Altamaha River. They named it the Franklina Altamaha in honor of their friend, Benjamin Franklin. This plant has never been found at another location and was last observed in the wilds in 1803. It currently survives only in botanical gardens. One of Bartram's primary goals was to study plants and animals in the vast and relatively unexplored Indian territories. To gain access to this wilderness, he attended the Indian Congress in Augusta in the late spring of 1773 at the invitation of John Stuart, the British Superintendent of Indian Affairs. After much debate, the Indians at the Congress signed the Treaty of Augusta. Near Wrightsboro, a Quaker settlement west of Augusta, Bartram reported entering the most magnificent forest he had ever seen. He said, quote, "I think I can assert that many of the black oaks measured 8, 9, 10, and 11 feet in diameter above the ground." Bartram's expedition reached the Great Buffalo Lick and found several acres of ground of white, fattish clay that attracted buffalo, elk, deer, and later domesticated horses and cattle. Licking this mineral-rich clay provided these animals with a mild antacid. This was Mother Nature's own pop, pop, fizz, fizz. A recent analysis suggests that this location was in Oglethorpe County near what is today Philomath. In 1776, Bartram made an extended canoe trip up the Altamaha River. He recorded various plants and animals and other natural phenomena, including a lunar eclipse. From there, he traveled south to the Florida-Georgia border. Along the way, he had a memorable encounter with a disgruntled Seminole who carried a rifle. Bartram spied the Indian first and stood motionless, but the Seminole saw him and spurred his horse, approaching Bartram at a full gallop. Being unarmed and in the Indian's mercy, Bartram simply trusted in divine providence and nudged his horse forward, extending his hand in friendship. The Seminole was taken aback, and after a few seconds shook Bartram's hand and rode away. Bartram later learned that the Indian had been rudely treated at a nearby trading post the evening before by white men, and reportedly vowed to kill the first white man he met. Thank heavens that didn't happen. Thanks for sharing with me a fabulous tidbit of Georgia history. Bye.